Tonight on DC News Now at 9, Fairfax County Police are out with a new warning for parents after a sting operation ended with 5 arrests involving alleged child predators. Plus, caught on camera, wild video of a chaotic street takeover in Springfield. Dangerous drivers doing donuts, masked men surrounding a cop car, taunting officers as they try to break up the crowd.
This is not normal.
The department's strong message for those involved. Then, after bringing damaging winds and heavy rain to parts of the DMV, a severe weather threat has moved out of our area. But is the rain gone for good? Our meteorologists are tracking the latest. And Mayor Bowser is laying out her proposed budget plan for the next year. We'll tell you where her priorities stand.
You're watching the station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us for DC News Now at 9. I'm Annalisa Gale filling in for Chris Flanagan. Well, the worst of that storm has passed. Here's a live look outside right now. We're seeing cars moving through that area in Virginia pretty smoothly right now after that mess that we saw earlier today. Now, check out this high water around the tidal basin that rose. The weather actually led to the National Park Service calling off Cherry Blossom Festival activities. And the rain, as it typically does, flooding Old Town Alexandria here. Take a look at how high the water got there in that area earlier today. All right, Chief Meteorologist Janessa Webb joining us now with the latest on where we are currently. Hey, Janessa.
Yeah, I know lots going on today. Our first tornado warning of the 2024 season, severe weather season, and really things have calmed down. I know it's been a rough 48 hours across the DMV. Now we're seeing the exit of that frontal passage. You still have overcast skies and a few raindrops that are lingering across the region. 51 degrees, but winds, they're going to continue to kick up out of the north and east. Exactly what we're seeing across northern Virginia, parts of our nation's capital, and where we had that tornado warning earlier today out towards St. Mary's County, still dealing with wind gusts 16 to about 20 miles per hour. That will die down as we head into your overnight hours. All these kind of polygons that you're looking at with that darker shade of green, those are flood warnings, and it's for our rivers and our streams across most areas. They have been inundated with significant amounts of water just in the last 48 hours. I've looked at some totals out towards Hagerstown, Washington County. Folks, in 2 days, you have picked up nearly 3 to 4 inches in some spots. And so really some of our streams are on overload. Here's the center of circulation. Ooh, this bad boy is broad in nature. I mean, it is going over all of the 5 Great Lakes, and it's providing now snow out towards Chicago. That snow that I'm talking about is about to make its way into West Virginia, parts of Kaiser and Cumberland. Here's kind of that lapse for the last couple of hours, a good wave of rain. It will be very light in nature coming in from Dale City across I-95, and that's why that flood watch remains in place across some sections. Also, visibility not going to be super bad for tonight just because that frontal passage has moved out of the region. Here's the talker. Winter weather advisory now in place for Grant and Garrett County. A winter storm warning just towards the west. We have now put 3 to 6 inches across the Mountain State region. We'll talk about that forecast coming up. Annalisa.
All right, Janessa, thank you. Well, new tonight, Fairfax County Police just wrapped up a major online predator operation, as they're calling it. 5 men are now facing felony charges after they were busted by detectives. They say the men traveled to the county with the intention of committing a sex act with a minor. But when they got there, detectives were waiting for them instead. Our Northern Virginia reporter Max Marcilla now joining us live from police headquarters in Fairfax with the very latest. Hey, Max.
Well, Annalisa, police say this is an effort to crack down on people who are putting some of the most vulnerable community members at risk. It's something you may not see, but police say they're taking it seriously.
During spring break, these cops were hard at work. Detectives with Fairfax County's Child Exploitation Unit were posing as children online, strategically utilizing apps they know predators use, and their 4-day undercover operation ended with 5 arrests.
We're absolutely not catching
all of them, and I wish we could, and that's why we do this job.
The 5 men arrested range in age from 24 to 53. 2 are from Baltimore, 1 from Woodbridge, and the other 2 from within the county, 1 from Lorton and the other from Fairfax.
We do believe there's underreporting.
That admission by Deputy Chief Brooke Wright makes these numbers even more troubling. Last year, the Child Exploitation Unit received an estimated 1,200 tips, issued more than 500 residential search warrants, and nationwide online enticement reports increased by 323% between 2021 and 23. That's according to the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children.
The ages of these children, the victims of our cases, are getting younger and younger, and I think that's just due to the access they have to the internet.
Police say parents can play a role in this too, offering these tips. Be open with your child, know their phone password, have access to it, and charge it in your room overnight.
Nothing good happens on their phone after 8 or 9 o'clock when they're supposed to be in bed.
And one last tip from Fairfax County Police tonight. They say check your kid's phone for a second calculator app because it might not be a calculator. Police say in some instances there are apps disguised to look like one thing, but instead could contain a hidden vault of other apps or photos that your kids may not want you finding out about. Reporting live in Fairfax, Max Marcilla, DC News Now.
All right, thanks, Max. Well, new at 9, D.C. police have now identified the man shot by an officer in Northeast earlier this week. They say the suspect, Dion Hinnant, was seriously injured in the Monday night shooting on Bladensburg Road. Now, according to police, officers tried to stop him. He was armed with a gun. Hinnant then allegedly tried to run away and refused to drop the gun before the officer shot him several times. Now he's facing several charges, including assault on a police officer and possession of an unregistered firearm. The officer involved is now on administrative leave. Well, staying in the district, education, public safety, and Metro Rail are among Mayor Muriel Bowser's key priorities for next year. Now, the mayor presented her $21 billion budget proposal to City Council today. Her plan would set aside billions for D.C. public schools, plus almost $220 million in additional funding for WMATA. Public safety investments include millions of additional funding for the D.C. Police Department to fight crime and for the 911 call center to add call takers and dispatchers. There's also the $500 million that would go to renovating Capital One Arena and the surrounding area. Now, however, Mayor Bowser is also addressing a massive $500 million budget shortfall. To close the gap, she's proposing a sales tax hike and cuts to several city programs, including completely eliminating the circulator bus system. And another one of Bowser's big focuses is addressing chronic absenteeism in D.C. schools. Now, that's when a student fails to show up to school at least 10 times during the same year. That effort comes at a time when juvenile crime is front and center. D.C. News Now's Mariel Carbone is following this for us tonight. She's joining us live from the Wilson Building with the latest. Hey, Mariel.
Hey, Annalise, actually outside a school where we know that kids across the district are not showing up as they should be. That's why the mayor says the safest place that she's trying to get kids to go to are schools here. We know the chronic absenteeism, or rather chronic truancy rate last year was 37% district-wide.
We need our students to be in schools where they're safe and where they're learning.
Which is why Mayor Muriel Bowser is proposing the Uplift Amendment Act of 2024, targeting truant students and their families while also prosecuting kids who commit violent crimes.
Well, they need to be in school for a host of reasons. One, but we still believe it's the safest place for them.
In part, the bill connects truant students and parents with the Department of Human Services for resources, creates temporary alternative schools for kids with behavioral issues instead of suspending them, requires mandatory family conferences with parents if their kid is charged with a violent crime, and limits diversion programs and plea deals for kids who commit violent crimes while armed.
But we are seeing an increase in young people who are involved in more serious crime and dangerous and violent crime and gun crime.
The bill stops short of prosecuting parents for crimes their kids commit.
Yes, more accountable, but I'm not sure that more accountable means criminalizing parents.
The legislation comes 1 week after a 12-year-old and 2 13-year-old girls were charged with beating a man to death.
It seems this legislation is very focused on youth crime. When you read that, what do you make of it?
We don't want to make those two things the same.
Caitlin Banner with the Washington Lawyers Committee worries the bill too closely links truancy with juvenile crime.
We know that some of the leading causes of truancy are students who are not in stable housing, students who are homeless, students with disabilities who don't have access to the accommodations and services they need in school.
So Banner is hoping that those types of services are robustly funded in this upcoming budget. And the mayor is not the only one proposing ways to address truancy. Several other council members have also put forward some proposals. So council will hash that out in the coming months. Live in Northwest tonight, I'm Marielle Carbone, DC News Now.
All right, Marielle, thank you. Well, you can read more about what's in that budget and what's left out by going to our website right now, dcnewsnow.com. Well, tonight, the fallout continues following the deaths of 7 World Central Kitchen workers killed in an Israeli airstrike in Gaza. Now, earlier today, cargo ships loaded with canned foods meant for the war-torn area returned to Cyprus with several hundred tons of aid undelivered. Now, in a new interview, World Central Kitchen founder Chef Jose Andres says the workers were deliberately targeted in that strike. He said the aid group had clear communication with the Israeli military and that they knew his workers' movements.
They were targeted systematically, car by car, in an area controlled by IDF. Them knowing that was our teams moving on that route with 3 cars. And then they hit the third one. And this happened over more than 1.5, 1.8 kilometers. So this was not use bad luck situation where, oops, we dropped the bomb in the wrong place.
To express his condolences, and later in a statement said Israel had not done enough to protect aid workers trying to deliver aid to civilians.
He's outraged and he's heartbroken. We are all heartbroken here by those 7 lives lost. And so we are going to continue to mourn with them, with Chef Jose Andres and obviously the families.
The Israeli Defense Force says the incident is being investigated and called the strike a, quote, grave mistake. Meantime, World Central Kitchen has now paused all operations in Gaza. It's unclear if these 7 deaths will spur the Biden administration to change course. The White House says the president is already doing everything in his power to bring hostages home and calls for an immediate ceasefire. But so far, taking away military support for Israel is not on the table at this time. Well, over to Baltimore now, where officials are working to start moving some of the cargo on that ship that hit the Key Bridge, causing that bridge collapse. DC News Now's weekend anchor Tosin Fakile has been following this recovery update. And Tosin, lots of moving parts with this one.
That's absolutely right. And today, U.S. Corps of Engineers says that because of 4 to 5 feet of mud in the water that's already 50 foot deep and the loose bottom of the Patapsco River, divers are working in basically cloudy conditions in the water. Thankfully, the sonar tool is helping to map debris and guide divers. And some other updates from officials today. Governor Moore says no contaminants or fuel were found in samples taken up and down the river from the Key Bridge collapse site. Now, we're also learning that now 8 commercial vessels have passed through the 2 temporary alternate channels opened up this week. Now, as officials continue to work to clear and reopen that channel, Unified Command says they are staged to begin lifting the first of the undamaged containers off the bow of that ship.
We need to lift those undamaged containers off to give us space to safely operate, to begin to plan to remove portions of the bridge that are also now embedded into the ship. But we need a weather window to do that.
Divers are working basically in darkness, because if they use lights, if we lit it up, it would be like they were driving through a snowstorm with their high beams on. That's kind of relatable. They have to be guided by detailed verbal instructions and direction.
Officials are also waiting for a better weather window to do a 350-ton lift off a section near the main channel where that collapse is. Now, officials say bringing closure to families is still a major priority, but they want to do it safely. And Annalisa also knew this evening, Maryland Senate unanimously passed the Port Act. Now, that act provides temporary relief programs to help people impacted by the closure of the Port of Baltimore.
All right, so